any serious energy strategy has to start with the reality that energy security is national security. And as my colleague, Mr. Tiffany, said, China is our enemy, and we need to recognize that. When we lack a sufficient grid to power homes, to power industry, and fast-growing demands like data centers, we expose ourselves to vulnerabilities our adversaries are exploiting. China is a prime example. As Mr. Tiffany said, in 2024 alone, they added 429 gigawatts of new generation capacity to their grid, a mix of intermittent and baseload power, giving them the ability to rapidly scale for data and for defense needs. And the question is, what is America going to do? Are we going to continue to be hampered by our own bureaucracy and have our government set up impediments to our success as a nation in national defense? Mr. Levi, your testimony notes that national security consequences of permitting delays. If it continues to take 4 to 5 years just to build transmission lines here, what does that mean for U.S. competitiveness in AI and in other technologies?
Thank you, Representative. I very much appreciate the question, and it is indeed a concern. We have an asynchronous timeline now. We are able to develop and build a data center in a 2-year time frame. It can take anywhere from 3 to 5 years to try and put some generation online. It can take 7 to 10 years to put transmission infrastructure online. As a result, we find ourselves really paced in terms of how quickly we can deploy this digital infrastructure based on...
we can't, so the holdback is the energy infrastructure. It's not the data center itself.
The pacing challenge right now is the energy infrastructure, right. Yes, sir.
Yeah. At the same time, you know, Colorado, my home state of Colorado, has chosen to retire many coal-fired power plants by 2031, well before the end of their useful life. That means that the state has come to replace roughly 1/3 of its generation capacity in just 5 years. For Mr. Nolan, if it takes on average 5 years to permit a new power plant or transmission line, even with Congress and the administration working to speed things up, is it sound policy for Colorado to pursue decommissioning reliable base power like coal?
Congressman, thank you for the question. With a forecast demand for electricity and the demand off the charts for data centers, taking any electrons offline right now is dangerous.
Yeah, it's a mismatch. In my community, Colorado Springs, we're talking about attracting data centers. We're talking about, we've got a technology hub. We're one of the space capitals of the United States. Over half of U.S. Space Force is in Colorado, and almost most of that is in my district, in Colorado Springs. And despite that, we've got folks taking off coal-fired power plants, which is going to take off baseload power. Even if we reduce permitting timelines, ensuring grid security requires dispatchable resources like coal. Would you agree, Mr. Nolan, that as we expand data centers and bring manufacturing back onshore, coal still has an important role in providing reliable and affordable energy?
Absolutely, Congressman. Coal provides approximately 16% of electricity for baseload power 24/7 nationwide. And in certain parts of the country, that number is much higher.
Thank you. You know, I sit on the House Armed Services Committee as well. And I'm struck by, I go into many briefings, many of them are classified briefings, and I look, you know, day in, day out, week in, week out, and I see what China is doing. They aren't waiting for approval from the Chinese government and some process to beat us in our military capabilities. They're moving at lightning fast speed. We can't allow bureaucracy and government to be a barrier all the time. As I noted earlier with the other panel, many times people use the NEPA process and the permitting process here to simply slow up the process or to stop projects altogether. That hurts our national security. that's important for all of us to remember. Thank you for the time, Mr. Chairman.